Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to another episode of Improved English. I am your host, Jay, and this is episode number 14 of the podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me and watching each episode. I have been having a lot of fun. So, after last week's episode where I did English through the news, some of you left me comments saying that you enjoyed that episode, you enjoyed the article, and you wanted me to do more lessons about news stories. And so I listened to what you said, and today I have another news story, that we're going to read through. Pardon me, I got the dry throat. And so let's get ready to have a little bit of learning and laughter. This is an amazing story that I have today. Before we get into today's story, if you have not already, speaking of stories, be sure to check out my Parlay with Jay channel, where I get to have fun conversations with you about random topics. You can scan this QR code or go to the link in the description. I did what I think is a funny story, a silly story on my last episode. I called it The Clumsy Thief. I thought it was silly. I thought it was funny. And so you can go and check that out. Those stories and lessons are designed to increase your listening skills when it comes to English. Okay. Someone left a comment and said it would be great if I did the transcripts or left the stories or asked questions. And I said, I do that on my main channel. Those are just primary stories that I have for listening and increasing your listening skills. So be sure to check that out. Also, if you desire to have one-on-one English lessons with me, I do have that. Just go to my website, jbartsdaletv.com, and you will have a link there as well as one in the description that will send you to where you can schedule a time with me. So let's get ready to get into it without further ado. And so that means without wasting time. JetBlue passenger. JetBlue is an airline company. Alleges severe burns due to hot tea served amid turbulence. Okay, let's break that down. So when someone alleges something, they are claiming that something has been done wrong. Something illegal has taken place. So the JetBlue passenger is suing the airline because they say they did something wrong to them. And the headline says that they received severe burns or very bad burns. You can have third degree, which is like mild. You can have second degree, which is kind of like intermediate or serious, but not that bad. But first degree burns, those are pretty bad. Those are very severe, okay? Amid turbulence. So turbulence, if you don't know, is when you are on an airplane and you hit air pockets or bad weather and the plane begins to shake and vibrate and move up and down. And it can be a scary experience if you're not used to it. But it's pretty common, okay? And so usually when there's turbulence, the stewardess or flight attendants, they call them now, will have everyone seated and place their seatbelt on. So let's get into this story and see what happened. A passenger is seeking $1.5 million in damages from JetBlue after she allegedly sustained severe burns from scalding hot tea served during a period of turbulence, according to a complaint. Okay, so $1.5 million for getting burned for what would probably have been an accident or what they might consider an act of God. So an act of God is when something happens that's out of human control. Okay, sometimes it's caused by nature. Okay, an act of God. Tornado damage, hurricane damage, flooding, or turbulence. Okay, what are they going to say? The pilot did not fly calmly through the air. I mean, come on, this is crazy. This is not the first time I have heard such stories. I remember a few years back that someone sued McDonald's because they spilled the coffee on them when it was being handed to them through the drive-through window. Oh my gosh. And they won. They got millions. Oh, they got a lot of money. I can't remember if it was millions, but they got a lot of money. Okay. Scalding. Notice scalding hot tea. So scalding hot tea is tea that is steaming, very hot. Usually it's close to boiling, but it's very hot. And if it touches your skin, it can burn you. Very painful to be scalded by liquid such as coffee or tea. According to the complaint, so a complaint is a grievance. Okay, a complaint is an official document that has been filed in a court saying that someone did something wrong or illegal. According to the complaint filed on June 24th, the dangerously hot cup of tea was allegedly served to Tawana Lewis while there was ongoing turbulence with the fastened seatbelt sign turned on. And see, that's what gets me. That's normal if you've ever ridden an airplane. They will serve you snacks, refreshments while there's mild turbulence. This sounds to me like someone is looking for a payday. So a payday is where someone is looking to make some quick and easy money. Okay. The complaint claims this decision was dangerous and hazardous given the conditions at the time. Dangerous and hazardous. So why take the coffee? I mean, were they serving her the coffee? Were they passing it to someone else, or the tea to someone else? I don't know. This is, in my opinion, something that's common that happens on an airplane, turbulence. And I've been served refreshments during turbulent air flights, and I don't know, maybe I just haven't had scalding hot tea spilled on me. But $1.5 million, that's a lot of money. The alleged incident occurred on May 15th aboard flight 2237, traveling from Orlando, Florida to Hartford, Connecticut, according to the complaint. So it sounds like someone was getting off vacation, coming from Orlando, Florida, going back home. Oh my goodness. Why not sue for free tickets, or, give me a couple of free tickets round trip? But that just sounds real shady to sue for $1 million. I hope they don't stop serving refreshments to everyone. Let's continue. Lewis, the plaintiff. So a plaintiff is the person who has filed the complaint with the court. Okay, so if I'm suing Jane, I would be the plaintiff. Jane would be the defendant. Okay. She claimed she was seated in the row directly behind the passenger who ordered the drink on this flight. The complaint states. Oh, so there's a new dynamic. So she was behind the person getting served. Wow. So they had to actually hit some turbulence and the tea must have went back. Oh my goodness. It maybe hit him in the face. Ooh, now I could see why. I don't know. Let's see what happens. That's kind of odd. Lewis reportedly suffered from severe and disfiguring burns on her upper chest, breast, legs, left buttocks, and right arm. Wow. Okay, now I'm seeing. Now I'm understanding, because I was having a problem with Miss Lewis. So severe or very bad disfiguring. So disfiguring means that her skin, her appearance was drastically changed. So, probably some of her skin melted, or, not just turned red, but, we probably shriveled up or something. What did it say? Her chest, her breast, her legs. So it must have went down her seat, her left buttocks, and right arm. Wow. So it hit all of this, her right arm, and then spilled down the seat and got on her butt. I bet she was hollering. Oh my goodness. I hope she's okay. With disfigurement and scarring on all 5 burn affected regions, according to the complaint. Okay. Yeah, this is serious. This is serious. Okay. So I'm backpedaling. So when a person says they're backpedaling, they're taking back what they said. Okay. So this sounds like someone who was really injured very bad and might be justified for suing for $1 million. Let's see what happened. JetBlue did not immediately respond to ABC News request for comment, as they shouldn't. And that's normal. Whenever a report is given publicly, you'll usually have the defendant say, we're not saying anything, or what's popular is they'll say no comment. Okay, because they don't want what is being said to be used against them, possibly in court or the court of public opinion. The court of public opinion has to do with what the general opinion is of the public. Okay, so if JetBlue came out and said, we don't care, okay, she shouldn't have been in the way, then people would be like, oh my goodness, JetBlue does not care about their customers. I'm not going to spend money there. That would be the possibly public opinion. Okay, let's continue. The complaint claims that JetBlue served this beverage at a temperature that was unreasonably and dangerously hot, beyond what is accepted in the food service industry or airline industry. Now, if that were true, why would they heat the coffee or the tea up extremely hot? Could it be, if we think about it, maybe they wanted the beverage to remain hot from the front of the plane to the back of the plane while they were serving. Maybe they didn't want to keep getting up, going to get hot water. So it's possible. Okay. Let's continue. Jalkowski also said JetBlue should have done something to assuage pain. That's a tongue twister for me. Let's make sure I'm pronouncing that right. And sometimes I have to do this even with words in English that I'm not familiar with, or I want to make sure I pronounce correctly. Yeah, I was right. Let me say it again. Hold on. Assuage. Okay. Assuage. Let me get my headphones. So let's look at that. They should have done something to assuage Lewis's pain. So if I use my context clues, assuage probably means to comfort. Okay. Let's look at a definition real quick. To assuage. Yep. To comfort, to ease, to relieve or soothe. Okay. JetBlue should have done something to assuage Lewis's pain. He claimed the crew did not ask if there were doctors on board, didn't divert or make an emergency landing, and that they didn't offer her much help until she got off the plane. Oh, wow. So now they are claiming that they really didn't care. They let her burn and sit there, didn't ask if she needed help. Was she okay? They didn't try to land the plane. From Orlando to Connecticut, she just had to sit there. Oh my goodness, that really hurts. Yeah, that's a lawsuit waiting. So I'm wondering, does she have any proof? Okay, because the burden of proof will be on her to prove that this happened. This is going to be something. According to Jaskwelski, Lewis experienced second degree, possibly third degree burns, and she will likely have to get skin grafting. Where her skin is smoothed out. Okay. He said she went to the emergency room immediately after the flight and consulted a skin specialist. So when you consult with someone, you talk with them, okay, you get advice, you get a person's expertise. So you could say that Jay provides English consulting because I do one-on-one English tutoring. That could be considered consulting. Notice a skin specialist. So someone who specializes in skin problems or skin things having to do with the skin. And usually we would call that a dermatologist. But because this had to do with burns, it was a specialist. In addition to becoming sore and partially disabled. Yeah, because once you get burned, if you don't work those muscles, then you can't move your hand or your leg or whatever it is the way you should. Oh, wow. This is really serious. The complaint claims that Lewis became limited in her ability to work and suffered from emotional damages. Yeah, JetBlue's going to have to crack open their purse and pay this woman. Jalowski also said Lewis was traveling alone with her 5-year-old daughter and that this incident was extremely traumatic for the child to witness. So something that is traumatic is very damaging, okay, mentally, emotionally. It's all around just difficult to deal with or to comprehend. And we like to say to process. I haven't been able to process what happened because it was so traumatic. That's what we say. So let's see. Let's read through this at a faster pace. All right. A passenger is seeking $1.5 million in damages from JetBlue after she allegedly sustained severe burns from scalding hot tea served during a period of turbulence, according to a complaint. According to the complaint filed on June 24th, the dangerously hot cup of tea was allegedly served to Tawana Lewis while there was ongoing turbulence with the fastened seatbelt sign on. The complaint claims this decision was dangerous and hazardous given the conditions at the time. The alleged incident occurred on May 15th aboard Flight 2237, traveling from Orlando, Florida to Hartford, Connecticut, according to the complaint. Lewis, the plaintiff, claimed that she was seated in the row directly behind the passenger who ordered the drink on this flight, the complaint says. Lewis reportedly suffered from severe disfiguring burns on her upper chest, breast, legs, left buttocks, and right arm, with disfigurement and scarring on all 5 burn-affected regions, according to the complaint. That's gross negligence, Lewis's attorney, Edward Jakowski, told ABC News regarding JetBlue's purported decision to serve drinks during what he called serious turbulence. Absolutely gross negligence. Okay. So when someone has negligence, they did not, or someone is negligent, they are not acting responsibly. Okay. That's negligent. Okay. You might say she took her child for a ride in the car, but did not put her in a safety seat. That was very negligent of the mother. Okay, let's continue. JetBlue did not immediately respond to ABC News' request for comment. The complaint claims that JetBlue served this beverage at a temperature that was unreasonably and dangerously hot beyond what is accepted in the food service industry or airline industry. Jakowski also said JetBlue should have done something to assuage Lewis's pain. He claimed that the crew did not ask if there were doctors on board, didn't divert or make an emergency landing, and that they didn't offer her much help until she got off the plane. According to Jakowski, Lewis experienced 2nd-degree, possibly 3rd-degree burns, and she will likely have to get skin grafting. He said she went to the emergency room immediately after the flight and consulted a skin specialist. In addition to becoming sore and partially disabled, the complaint claims that Lewis became limited in her ability to work and suffered from emotional damages. Makes me think about that meme, emotional damage. Jakowski also said Lewis was traveling alone with her 5-year-old daughter and that this incident was extremely traumatic for the child to witness. Excellent, excellent. Now, let me look something up because I may have been wrong. So let's see here. Difference between, because I know you guys will correct me, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd-degree burns. I said 1st degree. 1st-degree burns, red, non-blistering skin. So I was backwards. 2nd-degree burns, blisters, and some thickening of the skin. 3rd-degree burns, widespread thickness with a white leathery appearance. Yeah. So 3rd-degree burns are the worst. Okay. 1st-degree burns are the least worst. Okay. I had it backwards. Okay. So I made a mistake. Sorry, guys. But I corrected myself. Okay. Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's story. That was kind of interesting to me. Something that I did not know was going on in the world, but I hope they get that straightened out. And if you guys hear about it, be sure to let me know. So thanks for hanging out with me on today. We have learned English through the news. Be sure to join me on next week's episode. I hope you join me then. Be sure to check out my Parlay with Jay channel and tell a friend about each episode. I'll see you later.